Can you imagine living in a place where the clouds seem to rest on the rooftops? Where every morning the air is so pure it feels like it's never been breathed before? Today, we're leaving behind the usual routine, traffic lights, glowing screens, and hurried footsteps, to step into one of the most magical corners of the planet. This isn't a futuristic city, and it's not some hidden spot on the map. It's Grindelwald, an alpine village that feels as if the sky itself carved it into the mountains. Here, the day doesn't begin with rushing, but with a whisper of wind sliding down the peaks and slipping through wooden windows. There are no horns, only bird song and the murmur of streams weaving through the village. Houses built from thick timber, with flowers spilling over their balconies, look like something from a fairy tale. The green is so intense it feels freshly painted, and when it rains, the landscape gains an almost magical depth. The paths turn into mirrors of wet stone, raindrops drum on rooftops, and the scent of damp earth blends with the perfume of pine. In Grindelwald, the mountains aren't just a background, they're the main characters. They rise enormous and majestic, crowned with eternal snow. Sometimes they feel so close you could reach out and touch them. Mist slides along their slopes as if it's dancing with the wind, and on rainy days, that dance becomes even more mysterious, like the whole valley has been placed under a spell. Life here doesn't revolve around productivity, but around balance. It's not about doing more in less time, it's about doing what's enough and enjoying what's simple. The people of Grindelwald don't live in a rush. They walk, they greet each other, they stop to talk. They buy bread baked in the same oven as always, the one that perfumes the whole street when its doors open wide each morning. They sit on the town square bench and watch the world go by. Except here, the world doesn't run, it floats. Families often have small farms or tourism-related work, but even in the busiest months, the rhythm barely changes. Respect for nature is absolute. They grow what the land gives, and they care for what they receive. Nothing is wasted here, because everything has a purpose.
Even the rain is welcome here. It doesn't ruin plans, it transforms them. It makes the flowers shine brighter, the paths tell different stories, and the rooftops sing their own melody. They don't need artificial parks. Their park is the mountain. From childhood, they learn to recognize flowers, understand the shifts in weather, and respect every animal that crosses their path. They don't live behind screens, they live under endless skies. And that, even if it sounds simple, changes everything. The top water comes directly from nearby glacial springs. It's so cold and pure that a single glass feels like drinking from the heart of the mountain. The food isn't fancy, but it's unforgettable. Bread, cheese, garden vegetables, and meat raised without hurry. Every bite has a story. Every recipe has passed from generation to generation. And when the day ends, there's no noise, only silence. A deep, restorative silence broken only by a distant cowbell or the soft creak of wood inside a home warmed by the fireplace. Night falls with a calm that feels like a gentle touch. The lights are dim, the sky fills with stars, and the soul seems to find its place. In Grindelwald, life isn't measured in hours or achievements, it's measured in moments, in crossed glances on the path, in children's laughter as they run down a hill, in rain that soaks you without bothering you, in the certainty that the world still holds places where beauty isn't a luxury, it's part of everyday life. At first glance, Grindelwald might seem like just a pretty village in the mountains, but stay a little longer. Look closely, listen with your heart, and the secrets that make it unique begin to reveal themselves. Because this corner of Switzerland doesn't just look beautiful, it breathes history. It holds rituals in its stones. If they could speak, they'd tell stories that won't fit in any book. One of the first things you notice is that time moves differently here. Not because people are slow or uninterested, but because every activity has its own ceremony. Even chopping firewood isn't just a practical task, it's a dance, done with precision, with respect for the tree that offered it, and with the calm of someone who knows rushing won't create more warmth. Here, even the seasons have personalities.
Spring arrives with shy alpine flowers. Summer comes with the sound of bells and endless walks. Autumn brings breezes that smell like history. And winter you're about to meet. But there are details you only discover by living here, like how the houses aren't oriented by chance, but positioned to catch the sun during the coldest hours. Many have small carvings in the wood, ancient symbols preserved across generations. Some mean protection for the home, others bring good fortune for the harvest, and some simply remind you that every home carries its own spirit. And there are sounds you only hear in this valley. The echo of an alpine horn at sunset, rolling between the peaks as if the mountain gods were answering back, or the song of the cows, not just a moo, but everyday music. Each cow wears a different bell, and some say they can recognize them just by listening. It's not an exaggeration. The bond with animals is so deep that many consider them part of the family. There's also a special kind of silence here, the kind that doesn't feel uncomfortable, a silence that isn't empty, but full of things that don't need to be said, the kind of silence that helps you hear what's happening inside yourself. Maybe that's why so many people arrive planning to stay a few days and end up staying for years. And there are traditions that explain it, like the summer solstice festival, when the entire village climbs higher into the mountains to light bonfires that glow through the night. It's a magical moment where the mountains feel alive, breathing fire and light, while people sing, laugh, and remember those who are no longer here. It's not a tourist show, it's a ceremony of the soul. And if you ever walk these cobblestone paths after a gentle rain, you might notice something most people overlook. The whole village seems to shine. Wet stones reflect the light so strangely that for a moment you feel like you're walking on crystals. It's a natural effect, yes, but here, everything natural carries a touch of fantasy. Even the names of the houses tell stories. Many don't have numbers, only names. Sunview, Alpine Peace, Bear House. Those names aren't random, they're chosen with intention, and often passed down like a spiritual inheritance. And maybe the most curious thing of all is this. In a place where it seems nothing changes, everything is constantly renewed, not in terms of modernity, but in faith in a simple life, in work with purpose, and in relationships that feel sincere. A renewed certainty that happiness doesn't require more,
just a window facing the mountains, a warm roof overhead, and the smell of rain falling over the meadows. Grindelwald isn't a place you visit, it's a place you feel. You don't conquer it with photos, you earn it with moments. Because here, between pines, snow, and silence, you discover that the most extraordinary things in the world are sometimes found in the simplest ones. Winter doesn't arrive suddenly in Grindelwald. It announces itself first on the highest peaks, dressing them in white as if they're remembering their purest identity. Then it slowly descends, settling gently on rooftops, trees, and paths. There's no rush here, not even the snow hurries. It falls with the calm of something that knows it will be welcomed. And then everything changes. The village becomes a painting, as if drawn by the fingers of a patient god. Roads vanish under white blankets. The air turns dense and pure, and the silence. No other time of year is it so absolute, so deep. No engines, no shouting, only the crunch of snow under boots, the breath of wind slipping through the pines, and a distant bell reminding you the cows are still there, enduring as always. Life doesn't stop, it adapts. Children head out early with sleds in their hands and cheeks glowing red. They race down slopes they know by heart. They laugh, they get soaked, they shake off snow as if it were stardust. Then they run home to the warmth of a fireplace and the scent of cinnamon and homemade bread. In these homes, fire is more than heat. It's the heart.
Outside, snowflakes keep falling, each one different, each one perfect. There's no hurry in winter, even time walks softly. Adults keep their routines, clearing snow from the roof, checking the windows, stacking wood. Daily tasks don't disappear, they simply become slower, more physical, more conscious. Every step on ice demands attention, every decision requires patience, but no one complains. Here, winter isn't an obstacle, it's a demanding but wise companion. And at night, Grindelwald becomes something hard to describe. The lights in the houses pulse like heartbeats in the dark. The moon, when it shows itself, makes the snow shine with a beauty that almost hurts. Everything is white, silent, untouched, as if the village has been covered in a veil of magic. There's something about this winter you won't find anywhere else. Maybe it's how it forces people to slow down, to be together more, to talk by the fire instead of in front of a screen. In these long nights, stories return to their rightful place. Legends of the valley, harder winters, old songs that are only sung when the snow arrives. And yes, there are difficult days too. Days when hands ache from the cold, when wind whistles like a warning, when darkness slips into your thoughts. But even then, life continues, because everyone here knows winter isn't eternal, that every storm carries inside it the promise of spring. And there's something only those who've lived here truly understand, the privilege of seeing beauty in the extreme, the gift of walking through mist, your breath turning into clouds, the thrill of waking up and realizing the snow has completely changed the world overnight, that what was familiar has become new. Grindelwald in winter isn't just a landscape, it's a state of the soul. It's learning to enjoy tea that takes its time to boil, a slow walk to the village shop, balcony lights flickering softly, cold hands meeting inside shared pockets. Here, winter is mirror and refuge, a test and a reward, a whisper that repeats again and again. Life doesn't need noise to be extraordinary. And when night finally falls, candles go out, and everything is covered by that soft white blanket, the last thought before sleep is always the same. I wish this winter would last a little longer.
If this journey stayed with you,
there are many more waiting here. Explore the next videos on the channel, and let's keep discovering places where the world slows down and beauty speaks quietly.